Okay, three, two, one. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DNA Crows. And today I'm joined by a very special guest, Chambers of Heart. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kay White. I'm your humble host of Chambers of My Heart. It's Chambers of Heart on Twitter. Um, I'm a graphic designer, not professional. I do a hodgepodge of different stuff, and so here I am. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Sorry, I think I go by people's Twitter handles.
You're
Um,
fine.
Today I just wanted to go over just a couple questions I had. We unfortunately weren't able to move forward with the podcast we tried to do with you. So there's some things I wanted to get onto the open, some additional questions that have come up with recent events. But I think one of the first things, and sorry if we're retreading old grounds here, but again, do you mind just going over for the audience just kind of what got you into YouTube? You gave me a really particular story the last time we spoke, and I think it's important that we talk about that one.
Yeah, and sorry about the first interview. I just seen the drama and the reactions that surrounded the situation at the time. I thought it best to nuke the first one. So, what brought me onto this situation? I'm not a part of the anime community, dub, whatever. I had a very upset friend reach out to me in DM, somebody I speak with on and off, and they were talking. They were constantly talking about Vic Manana, and they started to link me some tweets, some Twitter blogs, and things like that. And at first, I was kind of confused because, like, I don't know what's really going on here until I really started to look into it. And the more I dug, it's just like, holy cow, this is ludicrous. What is going on? And it kind of took off from there.
Yeah, no, I think when it comes to the Vic situation, it's definitely been a roller coaster. It sounds like there's been some sort of update in the case, but actually, let's jump right into Vic Mignogna because the lawsuit's been going on. I'm sure that you've heard the news with the attempts to quash from Casey, Monica, and Ron's lawyer, and then the Ty's response to it, and then his motion to quash. And um, you mind giving us your opinion on all of that?
I've, to be honest, with some of it, I'm a bit confused, but also with Monica and Toy trying to avoid the deposition and pretty much the lawsuit. And to touch upon that, it seems like Jamie Marchi is avoiding answering her door because they've attempted 5 times. And I just learned this today that there is on court record they attempted to reach her 5 times. So there's people now trying to avoid getting sued, which in my mind is kind of hilarious because you had all this smack talk. It's like, yes, we want this going to court. We want a lawsuit, blah, da, da, da. And then it finally happens and they all run like cockroaches. Like, where are y'all going? I thought y'all wanted this. What's up?
Yeah, no. So I guess I should probably give a little bit of background. It seems like the reason why the original motion to quash came in was because they couldn't get Monica and Ron to even commit to a time to give their deposition. Casey was demanding that Vic give his deposition first, even though there's no legal requirement for that. And he also, after Ty said that he'd be willing to have Vic give his deposition first, it was only under the understanding that Casey would not then file for a dismissal under the TCPA, because that would then give them a 90-day delay in which Vic's deposition would be out in the open. They could leak things out over social media, which they've enjoyed doing. And of course, Casey and Ronica do not want that. So they want to have Vic be deposed, file for their TCPA dismissal, wait 90 days while they just continue to trash Vic. And I don't know what the plan is from there other than to keep defaming the guy. Uh, but it sounds like Ty just quashed that one pretty quick. Um, no, and the thing with Jamie Marchi, I'm blown away by that. I guess she never really expected, it's the tough Twitter talk, right? You got the internet tough guys, the internet tough girls running around talking a bunch of smack, and then now that now that you got lawyers involved, I think that she's just freaking the hell out.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the freaking age-old rule. It's, I believe, Mr. Medicare, if you know who that is, or Jim the Aristocat says it best: talk shit, get hit. And it's just like, you talking all the smack on the internet is eventually going to catch up with you. I mean, I know that everybody should freaking know that the tough guy act does not work. It's eventually going to come around and bite you square in the ass. I don't do the tough guy act. I'm a bit squirrely, but at the same time, I freaking know better because, like, yeah, the internet tends to mix with real life a lot, and when that happens, nobody's having a good day.
I I had a little interaction with Shameless, Mr. Shoe Eater, on Twitter, because he's going on about how Vic's the only one trying to hide things because he wanted a mutual order of confidentiality. And I'm sitting there going like, I think that's just because Vic's respectful. He's suing for defamation, you idiot. I'm pretty sure you could file for an order of confidentiality on his own deposition based on the lawsuit. Mutual order is kind to do. And I sort of thought that that was the right way of handling it, right? You shouldn't be engaging in social media when it's come to this stage, but clearly they really don't want to be in court. They really want to keep taking it over social media. Um, well, it was funny news today with the whole Jamie Marchi thing. I heard some rumors. Someone said Mars Girl received papers or something. I don't think any of that's been confirmed.
I have yet to hear anything of it. Like I said, I am just catching up with everything. I've been gone pretty much for most of the weekend, despite seeing some snippets here and there from my oral surgery. So I'm just kind of learning about some stuff, trying to wrap my head around the legal documents, the new ones floating around. So I have no idea what is going on with Mars Girl at the moment.
And I think it's probably best to just. It's tough not to talk about it, I think it's best that it's being handled in the courts. I really hope that all this just stays locked up, like nobody, no more leaks, no more nothing, and everything just gets handled directly through the legal system at this point. Because the less it takes place on Twitter, and Pool and Kiwi, I think the better for everybody. I don't think that they have a defense to Vic's lawsuit, so I'm pretty confident that everything's going to be working out for Vic. But I wanted to move on to the next topic. Did you have any other
Oh,
words you wanted to put in on this one?
well, in regards to the confidentiality, like I said, I am more familiar with custody cases. Like, I'm not an expert in thing, but I've helped to deal with two of them. And usually the confidentiality or gag order is the last thing you want because then that shuts people up and that keeps people from talking. But in this case, I will actually agree with it because of the freaking shit show this has turned into. People, I mean, I've even said it in my video. It's not about Vic anymore. It's not even about acquitting people of false rape allegations or false accusations of sexual misconduct, predatory behavior. It's not about that anymore. It's about who can get what out of this now. And you can see this with practically everybody involved. I'm not going to name people, but I mean, for a confidentiality agreement to come, I think that will be like the best thing to happen because that will have everybody shut the hell up. Calm down, sit down, go about your ways, and until we get an actual update, shut up. I'm all for getting this locked up now because it's like, you know what? There's shit going back and forth that didn't need to happen to begin with. We chastised the other side for doing it, and now we're kind of doing it ourselves. I'm like, yeah, I'm for kind of killing the fire at this point. People need to sit down and chill the fuck out. Excuse the language. I'm sure you have to edit that out. Oops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
probably. Maybe I can do a bleep or something. No,
Yeah.
I think Vic even was saying like he wanted people to stay positive. He doesn't want people getting outraged and angry and at each other's throats. And
Mm-hmm.
I think who was it? Gosh, I think that Ray person, Ray Bear. Um, she keeps getting tweeted by Nick, and Nick's tweeting her, and just I don't know, but she did have one tweet that made some sense where she goes through a scroll of everybody who's using the KickVic hashtag one day, and it's literally one person on KickVic's side, and everybody else is a Vic supporter that's upset at KickVic. So I think that movement's for the most part dead. I think the whole social media crusade has really turned against Ronica and Casey and Funimation. I you know, I think we should all just stay positive right now. And if something comes up like the news with Jamie Marchi, yeah, then let's talk about it. But otherwise, I don't think there's need to stir up shit if there's nothing to stir.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just like I said, people don't know how to cool down, and when BS is exposed, especially on our side, people just go nuts. Case in point, what happened with me, and it's just like, okay, you guys are whatever. It's not about Vic anymore. It's not even about victims of false allegations. You guys are just out for yourselves and whatever, man.
Yeah, actually, I want to move over. That's a pretty good transition to talk about some of the drama that happened between yourself, Short Round, Believe Bulma, and of course Yellow Flash. Now, I'll give my perspective on this because I, for the most part, I don't have an issue with you calling out when someone does something wrong. I mean, you don't want
Mm-hmm.
bad actors in your own group because here's the thing: if Renthimus was able to figure it out and and I'm not going to give her any credits for her intelligence. Anyone was going to be able to figure out what the hell was going on, and it was just going to make everyone look like an idiot. Um, so, just some backstory. Um, Yellow Flash was given a cell phone sent to his PO box. Uh, the account Believe Bulma, which we know now was either being used or in relation to the account Short Round, and it was used in a fake doxing attempt. Use the word gay ops when you were calling it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now, as I understand it, they now say that this was just a prank, um, which to me is I don't know. It feels like that's even worse
Mm-hmm.
because before all this happened, like I think it was only 2 or 3 days before, Mars Girl's Facebook post got leaked in which she was asking people to actually dox Yellow Flash. So even as a prank, you're stirring up way too much drama. You're freaking people out, and I understand. And here's the thing: that has nothing to do with Vic, right?
Nope.
It has absolutely nothing to do with him. The fact that that somebody that's a Vic supporter that's been a part of that movement and everything is engaging in some really just terrible behavior. I understand everybody feels silly because, and for the most part, Short Round's somebody that a lot of people like. Um, but he made an idiot out of himself. He made an idiot out of everybody else, and he drags Yellow Flash. Now, the part that I said, because I think we talked about this a couple times, um, I I get why Yellow Flash got upset with you because even when I'm reading through the Twitter chains and everything, it did seem like you were accusing Yellow Flash of something. And I get because you're definitely just trying to dig and get to the truth, and it did seem very suspicious because, at the very same time all this was getting out, Yellow Flash had nuked his own tweets. Now, I personally feel like a lot of that can just be explained by Mars Girl attempting to dox him and then him actually feeling like he was being doxed. Um, but when they did and I'm jumping around a little bit, when they did the live stream with Nick and you had Yellow Flash and Hero Hay and Tug, I wasn't really okay with the way that they said, it doesn't matter. And Yellow Flash was saying like it was really about him. It's not. Someone played a whole joke on everybody, made everybody out to be an idiot, freaked everybody out, made them think there was an actual attack going on. And for me personally, I'll just give my take on it. the way that it was done by you calling it out and everything, I understand the information originally came from Ren, but you didn't just run off of her words. You did your own digging.
Hmm.
Obviously, people got fooled. And the short round person, whatever good work that they had done beforehand, whoever they're friends with, whoever they're friendly with, um, that is just that is next level shitty behavior. Um, I, I really wish more people would just call that out. If the dude actually wants to apologize, I think everyone should be willing to forgive. But if we're just going to pretend like, oh, it's not a big deal, no, absolutely not. Because what's going to happen next?
Yeah, someone else is gonna get the bright idea to try it and do something even worse, thinking everybody forgot. I mean, people, it's been proven on both sides that there's some freaking nutters. There's people who've come out, made false claims on both sides, freaking got smacked upside the head, shut up, this didn't happen to you, you're using false info, da 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 da. So we've seen it on both sides. Now with the short run stuff and the timing was so freaking screwy to me. It's just like, okay, Mars Girl had this leak, and now all of a sudden, Yellow Flash is getting tracked with a prepaid phone that has Google Find My Phone on it. So that means a Gmail was sunk to it. I use Google Find My Phone for mine and my husband's phone. So it's just like, okay, this is not good because people were legit digging into Tug, trying to mess with Little Umbrella. So it's just like, okay, we have that, and now people are supposedly trying to do that with Yellow Flash. The timing of Yellow Flash nuking his Twitter was very suspicious. So I didn't. I kept telling people I have no proof he's in on it. I think he got hoodwinked like the rest of us and whatnot. But his reaction to me kind of started to set off some red flags because, like, why are you treating me this way? Why are you calling me crazy? Because he called me crazy in DMs. He even tossed me out of his Discord, accused me of pulling gay ops when it's me and several of his mods spent 67 hours digging for stuff. Some of the new stuff I got was from his own mods that had sat on stuff for a while. So it's just like you're gonna toss me out for doing quote unquote gay ops because that's what one of your admins heard when I was making a joke as to what was being done was gay ops.
Yeah,
So
I think and obviously Yellow Flash is his own person. He has his own reasons for why he does what he does. If I had to give some perspective there, I think it's twofold, right? First off, the information originally came from Renfamous, and they obviously have a very twisted history from Comicsgate. She goes at him constantly. The other part is I think at the time you were asking the questions. I don't think he actually knew it was a trick. It was something that Short Round was doing. So I think to him, he's probably sitting there going like, "Well, it's Renfamous lying, and people are actually coming at me." So he nukes his own Twitter because obviously Mars Girl is okaying doxing against him. I think he just got tricked, and it's unfortunate. But you know, I get that he doesn't want to be uh, I want to say victim. He doesn't want to be fooled like that. I don't think anybody does. That's why the whole short round situation really upset me because I got tricked too. I'm sitting there believing that this person's actually attempting to dox Yellow Flash, and who
mhm.
knows what's going to happen next. And then you find out, well, no, it was all just a big prank. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. Um,
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And during like the first interview, we actually saw the Lucas Kyle Facebook go down, and then now the Jeremy Ray one is also down as well. So it's
Yeah,
just there's two
those were the
possibilities.
short. Those were the social media accounts being used by Short Round. As far as I
Yeah.
understand, completely nuked their Facebook account so people couldn't look into the situation anymore. Like I said, I don't think there's any doubts at this point that Short Round did this. And if they want to call it a prank now, you know, that that's I get it's not as dangerous as doing something shitty like swatting, but it's that kind of prank, right? It's only going to cause harm. It's only going to hurt people. It's only going to make them feel bad. Why would you even do it? Like that's the
Well,
one
it's not
question I'd have.
Well, it's not only that because I come from the anti-SJW community, and we actually had somebody who did a fake dox or did a fake doxing claim with one of their neighbors. The topic that was hot at the time was Islam, and no, I'm not going to get religious or political, and this I'm gonna leave the dude's name out of it, but he came out and claimed, "Oh, my neighbor's starting to dox me because I'm cooking pork in my backyard." Some sort of bullshit story. And a lot of us kind of started to go in and go, "Well, this is messed up." Even made videos about it. And then two people in particular really started to dig into the information, and stuff was not lining up. And turns out the dude had made up the entire story for, I guess, relevancy, importance, and things like that. And you know what we did? We didn't say, ha ha, it was a joke. We ran his ass out because it's like, that's not freaking funny. People can legit die from getting doxing, which leads to swatting. So it's like, get your stupid ass out of here. So what really ticked me off because that particular stream with Rakita, Yellow Flash, Hiro Hay, Tug, whatever, I was not going to watch it. Then somebody starts DMing me, hey, they're saying this about you. And so I went and looked, and I just, Yellow Flash made some sort of comment about people not liking me, which I don't give a shit about. I mean, I'm still going to be changed with my heart whether or not I'm a part of this situation or not. It's whoopee. My ego doesn't ride on one fucking thing. Thank you. Excuse my language again.
No, it's okay.
Um,
I was watching that stream that night too, and I think we DM'd each other a little bit at the time. Um,
yeah.
it did not make me comfortable, and I still have a lot of
Nope.
respect for the guys. But you know, I remember this is like you were saying, this was at the same time. Ren's little gang of idiots was sitting there. You had one person threatening to, not even threatening, telling people to DM them information about Tug so that they could file a report with CPS. And others going on about
Oh.
how wellness checks are just aren't that bad, and you only have something to fear if there's a problem. I'm like, dude, you have no fucking clue what you're talking
And
about.
I
See, now I'm sweating. But
no, see, I with the CPS of no, that was messed up, and you had someone raised by wolves going around. I don't know if that account's still active. A lot of people speculated that was Shane being stupid. Again, I saw no proof of it being Shane, but again, yes, I saw the little part with me, and I clipped it and I put it on my channel. Granted, it just, it told me what I needed to know because I, people keep saying that I live in the past when I reference the DO5 stuff. I'm not living it in the past. I am using that as a very hard lesson, a very hard pill I had to swallow. So I take that and I look at both sides, and I don't give a crap about people's feuds. I don't care who says what. If there's some validity in it, I'm going to look into it. So with that telling me, it's just like because I even Rakita's piece goes, well, who cares? It doesn't matter if she's right or wrong. Who cares what she says? Like, dude, you're a lawyer. You should fucking know better than to say dumb shit like that. To even encourage shit like that,
I think
because
I honestly because you know I like what Nick does. I don't know if he really knew
oh, don't get me wrong,
about
I
the whole
like what he does
situation.
too.
I don't think if he I honestly don't think that he really knew the entirety of what was going on there. But when I heard that, I was like, man, that's tough because I remember he was reading through the stream later and he goes, you know, somebody made a comment about you during using a super chat, and he was like, I don't have any problems with her. And then somebody else put a comment in about the whole situation. They were like, yeah, and I remember it made him uncomfortable reading it. Um, but it's sorry, my claw is like clawing right at my cat's clawing right at my leg to get up onto my chair. Hold on. There you go, buddy.
Really fun.
There, go ahead and
But
lay
yeah,
down on my laptop. There you go. Yeah, he's happy now.
I mean,
um,
I have no. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I don't know if he really knew the entire situation uh, with short round, but I think a lot of him saying that was I don't know if it was damage control or he just didn't want people fighting anymore over it. But I don't think that that was right for what he said there. And no disrespect towards Nick because obviously he definitely knows more about this stuff than I do. But I didn't like that because, like I said, if you're gonna okay short round, doing a prank doxing and saying like it doesn't matter. I get what he was saying. It doesn't matter for the Vic situation. Oh, come on, stop knocking things down. I get that he's saying it doesn't matter for the whole Vic situation, but you could easily misinterpret that to mean it doesn't matter and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, and in the long run, in regards to Vic's situation, it doesn't matter. Doesn't have any bearing on how the court case is going to proceed. Nothing like that. But at the same time, it does bear a problem because, like, okay, we are, and I'm not trying to please anybody either. It just, I've been doing the same thing from day one, creating threads, going hardball, and then people screech and shout when I go hardball on someone, quote unquote, from our side. And it's just like, I've been doing this to both sides since day one, and you guys are suddenly going to turn around and screech. I mean, now granted, I will say I'm a bit more chill now. My anxiety was up, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but I was a little bit more hostile because of my oral surgery. I legit have anxiety about stuff like that. So I was a bit more bitey, but at the same time, it's just like, guys, this is what I've been doing the entire time, and suddenly people have a problem with it. And like with the stuff with Supergirl, because Supergirl tried to come around and shut me down. She tried to do the same thing when I was going after Zenness, and it's just like, you
Can you
need
give
to take.
background to that situation? Because I remember you told me about it, but I don't know if
So
people are too familiar with how that one went down. But
okay,
obviously,
so
he turned out to be an actual
yes,
pedophile. So,
yes. So pretty much, I was rummaging around Unpool one day, and I came across a particular post talking about how I Stand with Vic side was harboring a pedophile or sex offender and defending them. I'm going like, you're off your rocker. So, but there was a link, like they linked it, and I went and looked, and they said the name of the Twitter handle, and I looked at the registry, and I'm just going like, what the crap? And they mentioned Dominic Sky. So I looked at the registry, looked at the handle. Dominic Sky had me blocked at the time. And so I had to go through my alt to see if she had mentioned anything about it. And she had. So because Zennis kept poking and harassing, and apparently he was going on poking and harassing a few women, not just on the Kick Vic side, but also on the I Stand with Vic. So, because he had poked and harassed Sky a bit too much, she went and dug into him because apparently he had his full name and his Twitter handle at the time. And so she found the registry and outed him. And so I started to dig, and I put out the alert because it's like, this is full blown pedo. I don't think so. Your ass needs to disappear. I'm sorry. We got minors running around here, and you are technically not allowed around minors. Go away. So you have Supergirl trying to get me to quit, try to be quiet, and I'm going like, I don't know what you were doing, but you were irritating the crap out of me. Go away. I don't stand pedos. You don't like the way I deal with them. I don't care. I wasn't calling for violence. I wasn't calling for anything like that. I even said in my videos, don't physically pursue them because you don't know who else is living with them. But his name was on a registry, and she tried to tell me I was doxing him. Like, you're stupid. A
yeah,
registry is to
yeah.
alert people.
Sexual offenders are put on a registry for a reason. Their names and their physical address are made available to the public so that children do not go anywhere near them and people know to avoid them. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So anyway, so she makes the situation even worse because by the court documents, he is registered as second tier, which is, I think, like inappropriateness of the minor between 13 and 16. So she does an interview with him, a Twitter DM interview with him, and she makes the situation 10 times worse. And because people were asking, well, did he seriously have sex with a minor? Nobody knew until he opened his fat trap in this Twitter interview, and she posted it on YouTube, and she took it down, by the way, which I have a copy of because I knew it would come down after a while. She'd make it disappear. It's not gone forever. I have it. But anyway, so in this Twitter DM, I'm like watching the interview, and I'm catching screenshots, and I'm posting to the thread where he confirms that he is 21 and he boinked a 14-year-old because he wanted a relationship, and just like, Supergirl, you don't know how to make any situation better because you just made this 10 times worse. And the fact that you're trying to get me to shut up and you gave this idiot like an interview, were you trying to help him or were you actually trying to harm him? I'm legit confused. So
Well, I
there
mean,
was that.
I don't know how to say this, but I don't think that that was originally her intention to continue to expose the person, but she did wind up exposing that person even more to everybody.
Oh, I know.
So
She tried to get his side of the story, which made it 10 times worse. Because first of all, you don't ever like. Okay, I understand that there's certain people who get put on the registry over like say like statutory rape, like a 17-year-old dates a 15-year-old, has sex with them, and the parents flip their shit. Yeah, those cases happen, but this was not the case.
no, no,
And so it's
he
like,
legitimately slept with a 14-year-old as a 21-year-old. So
yes,
I just
yes,
I
and confirm it
yeah.
and confirm it in Twitter DMs. And it's just like, Supergirl, you made the situation 10 times worse. Had you shut your mouth and gone away like I told you to, because the situation was already being dealt with, and I'm sorry, I no pedo, I don't care. It just I was kind of laughing because it's like your help turned into harm and like only confirmed what people were speculating because the court documents did not specify. So, and also I called a detective that had been dealing with Zennis, and even he told me, he goes, yeah, he was given a plea deal because technically it would have been a tier 3, so which he was given a plea deal for a tier 2, which is less severe because he pled to a lesser charge. It's either tier 2 to tier 1 or tier 3 to tier 2 in the state of, what is it, Michigan? Can't remember the state. It's been a while since I've dealt with that crap. But anyway, that was the first example of Supergirl trying to shut me down. And then the second one was, of course, with the short round stuff. And she ended up blocking me. And I kind of made a shot across the bow by tweeting out a picture of Barbie and the Barbie song because she. At,
Yeah, that wasn't right.
I'm not saying it was.
I know why you did it, and
Go ahead.
I I think that that obviously makes things harder for the both of you to have a communication of anything. But I know I get why Supergirl was the way that she was there. Um, I don't know much about her. Again, I have to try to speculate what they're thinking at the time. Maybe she legitimately thought that this person was somebody who was put on there over nothing, and turned out absolutely not. The dude is a legitimate pedophile. And when you're dealing with somebody who is a pedophile, it's man, it I have my own history with my family. I had two members of my family assaulted by somebody when they were very young. So
Ooh,
no, no, I get where you're coming from, because when people say that to me, it's like when they were saying about Vic, um, I want to know if it's true or not first, right? If it's not true, I'm very pissed off at the people making those claims, which is exactly why Kick
right.
Vic really ticked me off. But when they go out and you give a pedophile a platform to sit there and go, yeah, it wasn't that bad. No, no, absolutely not. I totally get why you were so frustrated and angry there.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. I
Yeah, no,
uh,
I've, like I said, I come from the anti-SJW community when it was a community, when it was more of a thing back then, and we've dealt with our fair share of pedos. I shit you not. And also something too, because I told, I'm gonna be upfront. I'm gonna be honest. I told Senpai this in DMs, because I'm not the only one that notices the behavior. I personally don't have any issues against Supergirl. I don't know her, and as far as I know, she appeared when the I Stand with Vic stuff started to roll around, and started to get more and more familiar with her account because she was posting some stuff here and there, along with Ghost and Shell and all that. So, something I noticed about her, and again, I'm not the only one, is like she was floating around people like Tug, Yellow Flash, Hiroki, Senpai is Home, and those are just the guys. She was floating around them for a while, and then if you notice this too, because I noticed some things, some odd things about people I observe, and with Supergirl, she was using raw photos. And when I say raw photos, they didn't have a whole lot of filters on them. They didn't have a lot of tweaks to them. And then when Senpai gave her more attention, because they're not boyfriend and girlfriend, believe it or not, and I don't know if they have a history before I Stand with Vic. I don't know anything about those two prior to this movement beginning. But when Senpai started to give her more attention, her pictures became more Photoshoppy. So that's why I kind of tweeted the Barbie thing, because her latest pic right now is like Photoshop up the wazoo, to where she looks full on Barbie. It's too perfect. It's too clean. And I'm not saying that she isn't pretty. Don't get me wrong. I've seen her raw photos, but it's just like when you go out of your way to tweak stuff that much. I mean, I'm a graphic designer, not a professional one,
I,
but I've been doing it for a while. But go ahead.
I don't know how to really comment on it, only because for me, I don't really use filters of any kind. I guess I'm just a guy, and I don't really care too much how I look on camera. Well, I don't want to look fat on camera. That's one thing. Um, but like honestly, as as much as I can appreciate the joke in sending her the Barbie girl photo, I definitely think that that would just only make things worse between the two of you. Um, if she wants to use Photoshop on her photos, I see girls do that all the time over social media. Um, I mean,
Oh, here,
I'm not going to sit there and judge her too harshly on something like that, because obviously
no.
everybody wants to look good. Everybody kind of, because yeah, you look at social media all the time. You see plenty of people with nothing but filters and photoshopped images. Um, I, I, I'm not too sure how to comment on this one as
Okay.
a guy.
Well,
I'm sorry.
oh no, I don't use filters either, and I'm not opposed to using Photoshop on photos. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, if you want to get rid of, maybe fix the lighting, or you want to possibly get rid of like a small acne breakout. I mean, yeah, okay, those things are fine, but it's a behavior I kind of picked up on her. Is like when more and more people started to ship her and Senpai, because at first it was a joke. At first it was just them kind of playing along with the joke, and then it became a thing, and then they started to get like a little bit flirty on public Twitter, and just it was just something I picked up. And just to me, I don't know who I told this to, and again, I don't know her personally at this point. I don't care, but it just, and I know I'm not the only one that sees this. It just, to me, it seems like she wants to be the pretty princess of the movement. Again, I don't give a damn. I'm married. I'm not interested in, excuse me, the little boys she is. That's nothing to Senpai or some of the others, but it's just like, this smells bad. This
I
really smells
mean,
like someone for
I'll
attention.
say this because again, I think at that point you have to speculate way too much on somebody's motives, and like you said, you don't really know her. Let me just
Right.
let me ask, right? Because you kind of said it already a little bit, and I don't want to put words in your own mouth. Do you
You're
think
fine.
that sending her the Barbie girl photo took it a little bit too far between the two of you? I think that it just kills any type of dialogue the two of you can have now, because it does seem like you're just being a dick to her.
Oh, I was definitely being a dick, because I've tried to talk with her more than once, and to me, just for me, there is no talking with her. She tries to shut down stuff, and when she doesn't get her way, I mean, she kept trying to plead with me in the DMs, short rounds, try to send her a bunch of bullshit, how he was a retired officer and crap. And again, two instances, two instances where I had to deal with this crap from her. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shoot this, and we're just going to burn the bridge and be done with it. I have, like I said, I'm not going after her. I have no intentions of messing with her. Just like, you know what? You're pissing me off. Just go away. Stay away from me, because you're irritating. And that's just me. I will, I'm not, I, if I don't like you, I'm not going to try to play nice with you. I'll be respectful, but I do have my ways of pretty much telling you to F off. And that was pretty much the Barbie thing. Like, you know what? F off. Go away. Your shit stinks. I want nothing to do with you.
Okay,
You're a little
well,
bit too screwy for me.
I man, I totally get where you're coming from, just because the you know. I'm not I don't know how to judge somebody, because when, gosh, she had a fucking pedophile that she did an interview with, and
Yeah,
I,
she was helping. Made it
I
10 times worse.
I
It's like, way to go.
well, you know what? You got to give her some appreciation, just because she exposed exactly what kind of a monster this person is, um, unintentionally or otherwise. But again, when it comes to the two of you, obviously, if you're saying that you're not going to be messaging stuff at her, you're not going to be tweeting at her. Well, I guess let's just leave the Supergirl stuff where it is. Obviously, I wish the two of you could have a better relationship. Just because I don't like seeing people on the same side fighting with each other, and I don't think that she has ill intent. I think anything that
Well,
she did
okay,
there would be more of she's trying to protect the I don't know how to say it like this. She's trying to protect the movement, and if I had to say it, I think that both of those actions definitely had the absolute opposite effect.
let me point something out. Because she was DMing me about a claim Samantha Howe was talking about in regards to like some sort of singer. I'd have to go back to the DMs. She put out a Twitter. This is why I call her attention grabbing. She put out a tweet, and because I hear she's purged her Twitter account or purged of a lot of tweets. She put out something in regards to her supposedly finding credibility to one of the claims against Vic. And the last few words was a sad little emojis like "Be strong, fam." And people are like, "Well, what is this about? What are you talking about? Just freaking drop it so we can look into it." And she comes out later saying it was just another bogus claim by Samantha L. Hart. It had to do with the way that I guess Vic treated some sort of singer or actress, voice actress. I don't quite remember. It was at the beginning of the movement when I was first uh, getting to
Oh, okay.
know her account.
Chambers, let me try to play devil's advocate for you, right? Um, let's say that she did do that, right? Whatever the Twitter tweet was, obviously I'm not familiar with it, but let's say that she did get fooled, and she initially made something that sounded like she was coming out against Vic because she legitimately did think that she had found evidence against Vic. Realized later, after sending the tweet, she's deleted it, obviously, which is good, that it was fake, right? And she feels so stupid over that she obviously just doesn't trust any other claims because I could see, once burned, twice shy. And oh my gosh, my cat is just so desperate to keep clawing at my legs right now. A little off topic. He just wants to be on the YouTubes. Yeah, little stinker. All right. Um, do you think that maybe that she got fooled once, probably felt really stupid about that, and then the next times, she just wants to make it clear that she only wants to support Vic, and maybe that would explain her actions?
Honestly, considering with the information that was already out there and we kind of already dug this up, I don't think so. The way that it was worded, just like your attention, you're trying to grab attention for some odd because a lot of people like, why is she's acting kind of thirsty. And also something too, it just again, I'm not trying to bash it, but this is I even talked to Senpai about this because he even noticed it at first until he started dating her, and then I guess all this behavior went away. Again, this is nothing to senpai either. This is just stuff I've been picking up. And granted, I could be over analytical at times, I will admit. But like, okay, if you've ever watched a stream with those two in it, she tries to direct the way that the stream goes. Like the last one I saw was a few days ago, and Senpai wanted to bring some stuff up. Every time that he would bring something up, she'd go, "Oh, well, we're not talking about that." It's like, excuse me, whose stream are you on? Like, and I didn't say anything in the comments. I just kind of sat there giggling because it's like, dude, what the crap? I have co-hosts that don't even do that mess.
Well, I mean, like you
So
said, they're dating or something, right?
it, yes, apparently, but it's just sort of like you're. I don't know. It
It's a
just
different. Trust me, it's a different thing. I try to get my baby on the YouTube to do videos with me because she I haven't really expressed this to anybody. She is very much I'm pretty open about being conservative, but she's very much on the left. And I understand why she feels the way she does about certain things. And when we talk about politics, it's always something where I'm like, I need to make sure I get my point across in a way where she doesn't think that I'm being a dick. Um, but sometimes when you're with your girl, there are certain topics where she doesn't want to talk about it. you just don't talk about it.
Well, here's the thing, but it's his stream. They're talking about the kick Vic stuff and all that, and he's talking about how he wanted to go into politics. Like the end of the stream, she goes up like she wanted him to end the stream, and he goes, "No, I want to talk about this." And so she finally left, and he spent like another 10 to 20 minutes talking about how he wanted to enter the politics realm,
Oh,
which is
really?
a hard thing to.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, it just I sat there. I think I came in at like the last half an hour, 45 minutes, and I'm just sitting there. I'm listening to this going like, if I had a co-host pull this shit with me, oh no, their ass would be beat. I understand that they're dating, but it just
I'm
they
telling you, if I was ever doing a stream or video with my girlfriend and she said not to talk about something, I think I'd shut the fuck up pretty
yeah,
quick.
that $5. I bet you anything they don't have any history prior to the I stand with Vic stuff.
No,
And I'm
no,
like,
I
I even
understand.
told some. And I even told someone, I'm like, look, I'm saying this to you as a married woman because I'll be upfront with what I told him. I'm not going to bullshit or hide it. I told him that that is an accident. Well, not accident, but that is a situation waiting to implode. And when it does, you're going to find out whose fans are really whose. I mean, it's just they're a puppy love token at this point. And I'm not for, or excuse me, I'm not against people dating online, but that's not what I'm saying. But it's just like, come on, man, this shit stinks. You said that you became aware of the behavior before you did it and now you don't see anything. It just, again, I think they're younger than I am. I'm almost 30. So, and I just like,
I do
oh,
get
this
that
is something
impression
waiting to
from
happen.
watching both of them. They do seem younger, but that's I'll put it like this, and this is no shade on whatever they have going on. When you're young, you get the right to make mistakes, and you have to learn from those mistakes. I'm not saying that what they're doing is wrong in any way, because I honestly don't know. Um, public displays of affection are fine with me, but generally speaking, if you got a couple being a couple on camera, at a certain point, I'm just not too interested. How do I say it? Uh, a lot of people like the Amazing Spider-Man. They go on about how the Peter Parker and uh, Gwen Stacy relationship goes, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? When they're just like standing around doing the aha and umming thing, I I literally am just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. But that's me.
Yeah. And again, no shade for those of you who are listening. No, there's no shade on Supergirl. I don't care for the attention. I don't care for the stuff that her and Senpai
I'm
get.
just
I
gonna
mean,
title this
there's
interview "Chambers Attacks Fellow YouTubers." I'm just kidding.
no, but it's just I don't care for like I said, I'm married, but I just there's some stuff that I can pick up and see, and it's just like you guys hooked up because and just let's just call it for what it is. They hooked up after a bunch of people started to ship them together. It was a joke, and then they ran with it, and now they're dating. Just like, oh, you guys will learn. You guys will learn the hard way, and it's really gonna suck. There's
Maybe
very few
maybe they're
relationships.
that one relationship that actually does work out. I tend not to.
Yeah, well,
I
no, that's what I just about ready to say. It's like maybe you guys will get lucky and be one of those couples that had an instant hookup and then on years to come. But just from what I'm seeing, going like, yeah, this is gonna implode later, and it's gonna get real nasty when it does, or everybody's gonna go quiet and act like nothing ever happened. Again, this is not shitting on the fan artists. I've been doing art for them. I just no, and I'm not shitting on them. It just like the way that she is acted, the way that she's trying to come at me when I rock the boat or whatnot. It's like get out of here, get away from me, because you have no idea what the hell you were doing or even talking about. Get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna
I
be honest
just,
with you, Chambers. I can definitely see that, just based on the conversation we're having. They're I know that you're no longer going to be really DMing her, or I'm sure you're going to avoid most conversations with her now. I can definitely tell that there is, I don't know, I want to find a polite way of saying it because it's not a bad
just
thing.
be blunt. I don't care. You're not gonna offend me.
Bad blood, I guess. I can tell that there's a lot of bad blood between the both of you. And I think we've given our piece on both Supergirl. Senpai, I think I've watched a lot of his content. Um, he's his stuff with Supergirl, I don't tend to look into. People doing the fan art for them, I think that's awesome. I think anybody who wants to do fan art for anything, you should really let your artistic talents grow by working on things. So for me, I think that's great. But otherwise, I don't have too many questions on the two of them beyond the initial stuff that we just
Right.
went over. Um,
Right. No, and I have no issues with Senpai. I do watch his stuff, but like the stuff with him and Supergirl, it's just like, yeah, this is puppy love and this is gonna fizzle out. So that's just my take on it. I could be completely dead wrong, but it's just like I smell thirsty. Someone is very thirsty. I like Senpai's coverage of the stuff, but it's just like, dude, no.
Hey, you don't know. You never know.
Oh, true, very true.
I will hope that things work out for the two of them though, just because I definitely wouldn't want. I don't like drama.
Not that drama. No, that is hell. That's just like,
Yeah.
nope, go, get away from me. Go. I'm gonna go find the nearest bush. Get away from me. I don't
I
want
will
no
say this:
part of it.
if Senpai wants to get involved in political discussions and break into that, I say go for it. I mean, most of the content I'm doing is about politics, and I tend to enjoy that a lot more. I, I I have no clue if I'll ever be successful with it, but if that's what his passion is, that's where that I feel like he should follow through with it. He just needs to be passionate about it. Um, One thing I know you said that because you dealt with the oral surgery, you've been kind of taking a little break for about a week or so, but I'm sure that you've heard only because I've heard about this guy, and up until now I have never had any clue who he is. The Pro Jared situation. Um,
Oh my gosh,
did you
that
know about him?
exploded.
Did you know about him before all this stuff? I feel like I'm being a freaking boomer and completely out of touch.
The Pro Jared stuff, honestly, no. I'm familiar with Screw It. Is it Screw Attack the one that does like all the death battles?
Yeah, Screw Attack does Death
Um,
Battle.
yeah. So I watched Screw Attack, but I wasn't really familiar with Pro Jared. Pro Jared stuff like literally exploded.
Wait. Is Pro
Two night.
Jared involved with Screw Attack? I feel like such an
He used
idiot.
to, he used to be on Screw Attack, but he parted from them.
Oh, okay. All right. I can still watch Screw Attack. Thank you.
Yeah, no, he's long gone from it. He parted ways or whatever. But no, I just that stuff exploded like 2 nights prior to my oral surgery, and I'm just going like, what type of like ass hattery is this? Because you block your wife on Twitter, announce that you're filing for divorce without her knowing, and then it just holy crap, your fans turned against you. And what like I got into a few arguments with people on Twitter because they're like, well, she's innocent, that wife, and I'm like, I'm not like shit talking her. I don't know anybody of this, and I'm like, I'm not covering this shit like at all. No, thank you. I'm just gonna watch the freaking dumpster fire burn.
Yeah,
But
but
it
it
just with
seems like
her,
this guy was because when we talk about internet pedos and the creepy shit that they do, this motherfucker was convincing girls to send him like suggested photos and nudes and stuff. And I guess he had a secret blog in something like Pro Jared Sins or something like that. Sin Pro Jared, I have no clue. But this guy is posting suggested photos of himself. I, I guess there's one of him in a fucking
yep,
sailor. God damn it! I really,
Sailor Mercury.
I'm trying to
It's
get
Sailor
that.
Mercury.
I'm trying to get that image out of my head. But I guess that blog's been taken down now, so good. But he was using that blog to get other girls to send him photos. It seems like he was targeting younger and younger girls. This wasn't just cheating on his wife. The dude's a freaking creep. Which, hey, he fits the name. Not to shame anybody who's named Jared, but at this point, you share a name with the Subway pedo and this fucking
Yeah,
monster.
yeah. I will. Like I said, with the now ex-wife, I will say because like she was out for blood, and I don't particularly particular agree with her dropping everything, but at the same time, I can't blame her. And it's like we don't know if she's a shit bag herself, but at the same time, I'm not going to defend Pro Jared. I think honestly, the dude's more than likely a pedo. He's a cheater, and therefore I say burn because it's like, you know what? You're the fact that you even tried to sneak a divorce announcement around your wife and got into bed with the person that divorced their husband, and you were kind of screwing them on the side. You are a scumbag. Like, oh my god. I
Oh
need to
no,
catch
no,
up on
no.
some of the Twitter threads,
Oh
but
shit.
jeez.
Yeah, yeah, just reading into this stuff, somebody had
It
DM'd
made
me.
international news. It was a
Yeah,
it was
oh
a
my
freaking Twitter
gosh.
moment. It's like, holy crap.
No, this
Like
guy's
that
this
sucks.
you know what? Here's the difference between this idiot and Vic Mignogna, right? When the allegations came back against Vic Mignogna, people demanded evidence of any kind. We still haven't gotten evidence, right? But this Pro
Yeah.
Jared idiot, I mean, there is so much crap about him. Uh,
Ooh, did people drop shit?
oh yeah.
It's just like, dang.
So
People have been even go ahead.
No, I am all for when you can expose an actual pedo. And I just an all around just garbage piece of trash human being. Straight up, I felt bad knowing people when they they text somebody with a breakup, but to block your fucking to block your wife on Twitter, block your wife, right? You block your wife on Twitter and you announce that you're getting divorced on Twitter. What the God, man, these fucking garbage people.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like I love was it that the his side chick or whatnot that he was screwing Holly. She comes under because Mr. Medicare is having a field day with this stuff. She comes under and she goes, "I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I'm here if you need me." It's like, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Like her Twitter account is now fully protected, and it's just like you need to go away. It just, oh my gosh. And I love it. They try to drag in John Tron, they try to drag in Rubber Ross, or and he goes, I have nothing to do with this. I have moved on from her. I'm living my own life. I'm not going to comment. I'm staying well out of it. And then they try to drag in John Tron because he was a part of Normal Boots, but he got freaking booted off, I think, 1 to 2 years back because he made a political statement or commented on something that was seen by a lot of people of the alt right or right wing or whatever. So he was tossed to the wind, and it's just like John Tron has nothing to do with this. He's not a part of Normal Boots anymore. He's not a part of the garbage. You can't drag him into something he has nothing to do with. And then I love it. DSP. I'm not really familiar with the guy, but his name keeps popping up every now and then, and apparently he had a small controversy to where he was taking care of himself like via live stream, and even he was dunking on Pro Jared. He goes, I'm forever, I'm inevitable,
Oh
something along
yeah,
those
no.
lines.
The stuff like you were talking about, because I'm looking up the Pro Jared and JonTron stuff. You basically have these people trying to compare JonTron. I, I don't even know what the hell JonTron did. He got called out as being racist. The dude apologizes because I guess some idiocy that on his end, right? I don't even know if it was intentional. I've watched his content. The dude's not out there being a fucking racist, so I I've been watching him for
Yeah,
years. So I'm sitting there going like, if this is the thing, if someone's a racist, right? You can generally tell. Um, if they're being racist behind the scenes, generally there's a lot of evidence of it, right? There's plenty of people who can come out and just call the person out for what they've done. But you got people going out there and there's this like gosh, what is it? There's this one, I guess, a wannabe meme that they got like 10,000 likes, and it's like JonTron fans reacting to the Pro Jared drama. I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at infidelity and abuse. You can excuse racism? Like, dude, JonTron's not a fucking racist, so this is a joke. And you got people trying to drag JonTron again over that drama by comparing it to Pro Jared. I'm sitting there going like, you're dealing with a fucking pedophile, and this is the shit you're trying to do? You're dealing with a damn pedophile, cheats on his wife, all this nasty ass crap this motherfucker's been doing, and the first thing that's going on in your head is, oh, how can I drag JonTron too? God, these people are just, there's
Yeah,
JonTron, there's JonTron who's way up here. Then there's these idiots trying to drag JonTron, and then there's Pro Jared, and they fall somewhere in the fucking middle, and probably closer to fucking Pro Jared.
yeah, and then also to top it off, and I'm a little bit familiar with this guy. Peanut Butter Gamer tried to come out and defend Pro Jared at first, and but he immediately retracted because he started to bleed subscribers. And I will say, like, okay, like I said earlier, is I come from the anti-SJW community, and somebody tried to pull like a gay ops, literally going after anybody who is alt right. He got exposed, and there's discrepancies whether or not he did it or not. Anyway, he lost a lot of subscribers. With Pro Jared, I have not seen a bleed like that since Crown T. And it's just like,
Oh, so like a hundred
damn.
thousand subscribers in a day, right?
Yeah, and it was climbing too. And then it's just like, dude, you just like torched your entire career with that one dumb move because you thought you were going to be slick and
Oh,
hide
one
a
dumb
divorce
move.
filing from your.
Yeah,
Well, you know
one
what I
dumb
mean.
move.
It's
Yeah,
what
no, I know what
it's
you
the
mean.
it's the linchpin that sent off the rest of the landmines. It's like throwing a grenade into a bunch of landmines. Whoops. So it's just like, dude, what the crap? I
Well,
mean, everybody's dropping them. There was a D&D group or D&D show that I read about that threw both him and Holly off and instantaneously replaced them. So they've lost their spots. Like, oh, dude, it's bad. Everybody's torching these two, man. It's like, yeah, nope, you're gone. You're out of here. Go away.
I think I might be wrong here. I think I put his wife on, or well, soon to be ex-wife on follow, just so I could get more news on it. But I am just, wow. I have one solution for people who act. I get it. I understand you're gonna have pedophiles who don't act on those impulses. That they go out and they actually seek therapy, and they don't commit harm. So for them, fine. I don't know what to say because I've never been afflicted with those types of predilections, but to fucking engage in it, right? To harm a child. That's why who was it? The voice actor whose brother was who got convicted for having child porn on his computer.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the voice for Grand Zeno. Yeah, I forgot what her name is, but yeah, she tried to come out and say, "Well,
she
I
goes out
believe
and
he's."
says it's not comparable to Vic because my brother never touched anyone. I'm sitting there going like, you need to
Yeah, yeah, and
shut
just
the
like,
fuck up and delete that damn tweet, you goddamn
oh
moron.
yeah, no, and I love it how she goes, "Well, I believe he's innocent." It's like, hey, dum dum, do you know how peer to peer network works? The fact that it was in his download history. Do you know anything about internet browsers? This is basic stuff. And just every internet browser has a download history, a download folder, and it's just like you're not gonna skirt your way around this one. This your brother is a pedo. CP is harmful whether or not you're watching it, making it, or whatever. It's not victimless. And the fact that they were passing it, God knows if some of those shits he was sharing that crap with was actually making it homebrew. So it's just like, yeah, no, go away. You need to disappear and you need to shut your mouth.
Yeah, no, that God, like I said, when it came out and people were making those accusations against Vic, I did want to know if it was true or not at first. It didn't seem like there was any evidence, and along with all the other stuff, right? And it became so
Mm-hmm.
damn clear that Vic was innocent only when, because here's the thing about pedophiles, right? They're not interested in little girls and grown ass women. They tend not to I don't know how to say this. They tend not to or go and seek to assault children and grown women. Um, I man, I don't even know how to really have this conversation anymore because these guys are just fucking disgusting scumbags. Uh, they
Yeah,
use the internet to fucking track down children, manipulate them, fucking abuse them. I I am all for the rusty fork castration method.
I'm for bullet in a box, 6 feet under. You get no second chance after that. That's just me. I don't agree with housing the shits either. I agree that we need to bring back some of the old punishments. Oh my god, I think we're too lenient on some of this
Oh,
stuff. So
definitely,
it's just like,
definitely.
hmm.
You got people, and we're totally shifting the focus of the interview. Now we're just raging against fucking pedophiles. But you got the shit going on in California where they're normalizing it. They're teaching it as a sexual attraction in schools. And I'm sitting there going like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Literally, what the hell is wrong with you? Um, children, children need to be defended by adults, and when you're just going to go there and you have pedophiles trying to rename it into something more tolerable. Like I said, I'm a conservative. It's kind of like when you see people try to say, well, illegal aliens is offensive. You need to call them undocumented migrants. And I'm going like, no, there's a term for it that's a legal term. The legal term for pedophiles is fucking pedophiles. They're
Yeah,
fucking pedophiles.
yeah, and I just because I know with the Pro Jared situation, a lot of people were kind of jumping on to Mars Girl and Pride more because they do have uh, prior connections with Jared and his wife, not Holly. What Holly's a freaking side hoe. What is his wife's name? It's the really pretty cosplayer. Heidi. Is it Heidi? I think it's Heidi. A lot of people knew Jared and Heidi, so they were commenting on their past interactions, and it's a lot of the people who are seen as figures of the kick Vic, and a lot of people are like, oh well, they're just jumping on drama. It's like you do realize Pro Jared, I believe he had connections with Channel Awesome, Screw Attack definitely. So a lot of these people know each other. Don't be surprised to see people from Kick Vic commenting on that situation too. I mean, hello.
Well,
So
one thing I think
yeah.
it kind of clears up because you definitely had a lot of people defending Vic, being called out by Kick Vic and saying that they were down for this shit and okay defending it. Well, you know what? As soon as you produce some damn evidence, everybody's gonna come out against it because nobody is okay with it.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
It just,
I get a little bit angry talking about these sick people, man, just sick, deranged people.
oh yeah, no, definitely, and it shows how crazy things have gotten with the pro Jared stuff, and then you had another YouTuber from the freaking beauty community freaking just go kaboom as well, and she's like, what is going on? But to take it back to the I stand with Vic, kick Vic, because I know Pro Jared started to melt into that just a little bit because people were noticing the same figures comment on that. And again, these people all knew each other and were really close with each other at some point and working on similar channels, if not similar projects. So again, don't be surprised if they start commenting on a different situation altogether. We've already established the connections when I Stand with Vic, Kick Vic, had first begun. So I'm not surprised. Surprised Pikachu is not surprised anymore. Um,
Yeah, no,
but
well, you know what? I will say this, and God, talking about sick creeps, uh, above the level of a pedophile, thankfully, so I probably will not be swearing anymore. Um, uh, what do you think about, we'll probably wrap up, but Mars Girl's GoFundMe being promoted by DC Douglas, well, Mars Girl doesn't say anything. Now, the reason why I say that is because DC Douglas has done way worse things than you can accuse Vic of doing. But my probably favorite of those things, and by favorite I mean just what the hell are you doing, man? Is going into a woman's bathroom and filming himself in the women's bathroom at an airport. I do you, I mean, I'm sure you find it hypocritical like I do, but do you have any comments on how it makes you feel seeing an actual perv and a creep promoting Mars Girl, the founder of the Kickvic group?
Um, as I've said it before in my own mainstreams, DC Douglas, freaking Chris Sabat, even Sonny Stray, because he's kept his mouth shut publicly, but he's told some people and stuff in DMs. Like there was one floating around of where he told somebody how he believed Monica and Vic was convicted of way worse. I have that screenshot, by the way, because I nabbed it when I was given it or when I came across it. A lot of the people that come out against Vic for sexual misconduct tend to be very much tarts themselves. And like, if you look at the stuff that Sonny Strait does, and a lot
Ooh.
of it, from what I hear, is consensual. If I was that man's wife, he'd be seeing my shoe in his mouth from it being up so far up his ass because it's like you'd be a
I
dead man walking.
was about to say, shoe in the
That
mouth sounded pretty tolerant.
no, I just my foot would be in your mouth because it'd be so far up your ass. Like was when I saw the pictures, I think I was talking with someone on stream and we were going over pictures and stuff. I'm going like, oh hell no, this dude is the dead man
No,
walking. If he
so
were my husband,
so actually, I think you kind of bring up a good point. I feel like a lot of and this isn't to throw shade because I do understand there are people that really did believe, and fools be damned, but I can't really blame someone for being an idiot. That said, though, when it comes to DC Douglas, I honestly feel like he was pushing this whole thing because he doesn't want to get his own ass called out by it. So he's going to
oh,
back these movements. Eh,
what
Huh?
he did was straight up illegal because Yellow Flash did dig into it and he found out what DC Douglas did was illegal. I think I can't remember who I told this to, but if I found a guy in the girls' bathroom videotaping, you'd be getting a taste of my taser. Like no kidding. I'd be raising hell. It's like you. Oh fuck no.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is a crime, but I'm just, I kind of feel the only reason why he is backing this as hard as he does, is specifically because he does not want that movement turned out against him. But you know what? I have a feeling that when Vic is finally wins this defamation suit, because I don't see any chance of him losing. I don't really like to be I don't really like to make predictions on certain things unless I know it's a certain thing. So on that one, I'm very confident in doing so. But I think by the time Vic is done and over with, he wins his defamation suit. I guarantee you, these little hate brigades, they don't stop, and his ass is the next one on the list.
Oh, there's something floating around. It was from Mars Girl, kind of speculating Sean Shenmue to be the next on the chopping block. Like I said, these guys are all most of them are tarts and do the exact same shit that they came out and accused Vic of doing. And it's just like these type of groups always eat their own, and so they're going to go after the next worst target, and it's going to be nasty. And it's just like you guys do not get it because you guys will push a movement or push a certain thing, and then you guys forget that it has a double-edged sword to it, where you're next on the chopping block. So it's just like it's going to be a nasty wake-up call because, like I said, there's already rumors floating around and a little screenshot somewhere how Mars Girl wants to go after Sean Schemmel, and so
Yeah,
it,
these people don't stop, and that's actually kind of why I'm glad that Vic finally did hire an attorney and he's taking it to court. Don't get me wrong, I personally feel like DC Douglas is a freaking perv, up the wazoo. But at the end of the day, if someone does something that's illegal, we have a way of handling that. You take it to the legal system. Yeah, if it's not a crime, if it's something, if it's a civil case, you still take it through the legal system, hire an attorney, go after them that way. We need to avoid these social media brigades because, I mean, you see what happened with, God, Johnny Depp, right?
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, his ex-wife tried to come out against him, and
And
he was
people
able to
believed
prove.
him.
He
He,
goes,
he he had evidence that,
mm-hmm,
that actually cleared him. That's pretty rare, right? Because it turns
mm-hmm.
out she was the one being abusive. And you got these photos, like she nearly tore his freaking finger off. Lady's crazy. But I think the first instinct for a lot of people is actually to believe these claims, because, eh, God, as a society. As much as we try to say, equality for all and everything, I still think when you make those claims, most guys sit there and they want to defend the women. I still feel like that's generally how most men are. Um, so I definitely see, yeah, that whole Johnny Depp thing should be proof enough that you should not believe all women. Because man, he was getting his ass torn up by her.
Oh yeah, and you want to know something else too? She is. I have not seen the movie Aquaman yet, but I know that she is the actress that plays
Mara.
Aquaman's girl.
Yeah, Mara.
Huh? Yeah, and so even the producers for Aquaman, they don't. I don't. I think have come out and said that they're not bringing her back. So either she's getting written out or she's getting recast
Oh, they'll
because I was
recast her.
following up on the.
They'll
Yeah, just to like
they'll
so
pull
she
an
lost.
they're gonna pull an Iron Man and War Machine her ass.
Huh?
Oh, in Iron Man 2, they recast
Brody.
Terrence Howard. They
Yeah,
recast
Rodney. Yeah.
Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle. I guarantee you that they're just gonna recast her and never say anything about it.
Yeah, but I think everybody pretty much knows at this point. But yeah, no, I read about some of the stuff of Johnny Depp, and then you have another one which I need to read up on. Jim Cummings, the voice of Pooh Bear, Cheshire Cat, Tigger. His wife tried to accuse him of raping her and whatnot, and
Raping
she
her, abusing the children, and of course abusing the dog in a custody hearing.
Yeah, but he was proven innocent because I guess he had it on record or whatnot that she had threatened to ruin him and his career if he divorced her. I need to read up on it, but I'm seeing stuff go around like, oh, thank God he was proven innocent because that one would have freaking broke me. It's just like, no, not Pooh Bear, no.
Oh my God, I made a slightly inappropriate joke about can you just imagine him kicking a dog with the Winnie the Pooh voice?
Oh my gosh, it just
No, the thing is, especially when those come out during a custody hearing, you really got to take that one with a grain of salt. So seeing people try to run with it, Jim Cummings accused, and I'm like, it's a custody hearing. Like, give some damn perspective there. You have two parties that are going after each other in a very bitter divorce. Yeah, guaranteed. One of those parties is just going to take the spaghetti method, throw as much shit as they can at the wall, and hope something sticks.
Yeah, oh no, definitely. And just that's what freaking another situation that again, it's a situation I'm covering. Things are kind of quiet right now, but with the Save James, I have a playlist on my channel. It's a custody battle, a very messed up custody battle, mind you, to where the ex-wife tried to accuse the husband or her ex-husband Jeff Younger of domestic violence, which, by the way, he got acquitted of because little did she know he had a person in the truck that he was driving, and she tried to come out and say that he beat her and
Oh my
oh yeah,
God.
so oh yeah, so he got acquitted right away, and the charge dropped because like, hey. Stupid! I had a witness in the truck. You didn't know about it. Surprise! So, oh, that one's a nutcase all her own, man. Oh my god.
Well, you know
But
what? What are you gonna do, honestly? I honestly don't know any way that you can really stop false allegations from coming out. I remember this was, I want to say, a couple weeks back. I argued with a couple people over Twitter. It wasn't anything mean, but they wanted people that accused others of rape to have the exact same penalties or worse, if it was a false accusation, as if an actual rape claim. And I think we're getting to a point where you're going to find people pushing for that more and more. I don't think that that's right. I think that you will eventually start scaring actual victims from coming forward. But these idiots are so deranged. They are so mental that they don't give a shit. It's all about them. And you have these handful of psychotics who know that if they make that allegation, people are going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their shit. and they're just going to side with them because who wants to really defend a rapist, right? Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think and we'll wrap this up here. Um, Sorry, because I know I'm talking your ear off now. It's supposed to be an interview for you.
Oh, you're fine.
I think that when you had the thing happen with Kavanaugh, right? Uh, and then you have the thing happen with Biden, just two of the things in the political landscape. You kind of realize that people abuse these situations for their own ends. It really doesn't matter to them the damage they do if they harm future future victims. If you make future victims afraid to come forward because they don't want to be accused of making something up. They don't want to be they don't want to be accused of being a Monica Rial, right? They don't want that.
Yeah.
So, what these women do is so disgusting. It goes,
Mm-hmm.
it's so immoral, and the fact of the matter is, many times they will get away with it. It's just nice to see that in these high profile cases, people are asking the right questions. It's not just the Jim Cummings thing. It's good that he had the evidence. I think that if you don't have evidence of an accusation, y- it's not disrespectful to ask the right questions about them. But I feel that the damage these people have done to people making rape allegations, serious rape allegations, is going to just come back and really wreck our society somewhere down the line. I don't know if that's true or not. I try not to be a doom and gloom guy, but if we don't figure out a better way of handling this shit, I cannot imagine it's good for anybody.
Yeah. So to wrap up my thoughts here, like in regards to like some of the stuff we talked about, when it comes to just the overall short round stuff, it was stupid, it was dumb, the way it was handled wasn't really accurate. Instead of treating it as a joke, people should have condemned it. That was like my biggest thing because I come from a community that condemns people who pull that dumb shit because that's something legitimately to be taken seriously. And so I didn't appreciate the feedback I got. Um, in regards to if Yellow Flash was actually in on it or not, I have no proof either way. There's two speculations: he was in on it, or he wasn't, and he found out he got hoodwinked and wanted to bury it because it made him look bad. So again, I have no proof either way of either of those two. In regards to Supergirl and Senpai, I have nothing against them personally. I think Supergirl's attention thirsty. I think freaking Senpai is a little bit naive. And I just the fact that he wants to move into politics, which is actually really cool. So the fact that Supergirl tried to shut down him even talking about that, I think she just
I think
not your
everybody would
stream.
be
Be
really
quiet.
interested in seeing him branch out into something like that.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
Definitely. I think a few of these guys need to learn to branch out. And expand a bit because, as I said, and I'm not trying to. My channel isn't based off of one thing. My ego isn't attached to one thing. So it's just like you guys need to expand your horizons just a bit. So again, I don't have anything against Lystra like Senpai's coverage. Supergirl, I'm not sure why she tries to shut everything down. I don't know personally. I have no intention of going after her at this point. I really don't care about her. What happens with her, and I'm only gonna stick my nose in if something like legit messed up happens. Um, and then regards like some of the false sexual allegations with Vic Mignogna and Pro Jared. Pro Jared, I think, is a shitbag and just freaking stupid for what he did. In regards to the court documents, as we discussed, I do agree that at this point of time, I do think confidentiality um, chain or whatever the heck you want to call it, cap or whatnot, needs to be put in place to get everybody to shut the hell up and to give people some peace. I can see this driving a bit crazy. Because it's not about Vic anymore. It's about who can get what out of this, and that's a lot of people. What else did we cover? Freaking Winnie the Pooh, Jim Cummings, he got proven innocent.
Yeah, we went over quite a
Uh,
bit.
yeah,
Um,
I just go ahead.
no, no, no. I was gonna say, I agree with most of your thoughts there. Obviously, just going back to the short round thing, that whole thing is just nasty, wrong, and I understand that a lot of people think he's funny and everything, but that is just so far over the line. With Yellow Flash, again, I like the content he does. I really don't feel like he was involved there. I get that there's some stuff that looks suspicious. I can attribute that to just, the stuff with Mars Girl and actually being hoodwinked. And I know the way that he treated you after the fact. But when Ren gets involved, I honestly don't think Yellow Flash really cares too much what's
He doesn't
said.
think yeah, no, it is his ego, and because of their prior history, which again I don't give 2 cents for. Where if he can get her just to shut up and go away, he's gonna try. That's why they keep going after her freaking Twitter account, and just like,
Well, actually, I think this time it wasn't. So she got banned and then came back. I don't think that was them this time. I was watching the conversation she was having with somebody in which they flat out said that they were going to be reporting her for targeted harassment, and there was about 5 people saying the same thing. So I think that's why she came back pretty quick because they were reporting tweets that made no sense.
perhaps. I mean, it's hard to say at this point, but I just golly.
Well, I mean, if she's gonna block everybody, though, let that be it. I'm sure she's gonna still troll them on her alt account, but
Yeah.
I, you know what? She needs to go to her own corner. She's got I think when we did the podcast with Emish, he said the most he could about Ren and probably the truest statement. She doesn't really have an opinion on these things. She's just getting her name attached to it for clout. There's really no point in engaging her unless you're looking to get outraged over something because that's all she's good for.
I honestly am not going to comment on her because I'm not familiar with her outside of that I stand with Vic. And as far as I've seen, it's both sides shit flinging. It's both sides poking at each other, especially over the comic stuff. So, and for me, I really don't give a shit. I just wish everybody would go in their fucking corner and shut up.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me for this. I'm glad we were able to do a makeup interview today. Sorry if I wound up talking your ear off. It should have been the
Oh,
other
you're
way
fine.
around. All right.
You're fine.
Well, I'm just gonna end things here then. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of DNA Crows. Again, I'm your host, Andrew the Comic Crow, and today joining us is Chambers of My Heart. I got it right this time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Please check out her channel. Please continue to check out my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know how we can do things better. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.
Bye.